forgot to put my lipstick on.
Okay, sorry. Hi everyone, welcome back to the Sip and Talk podcast. I'm Ellen.
I'm Nancy.
And today we are going to talk about our favourite books, look at pop culture, and then discuss politics and society. And then if you're interested, stay tuned at the end where we will do a deep dive into some funny dating stories, looking at people's biggest icks online, and yeah, should be good. So I suppose to start off, Nancy and I are obviously avid readers. Like I read thrillers, you mainly read romantasy, would you say, or?
Actually, lately I've been reading more thrillers and horror.
Okay.
But I would say a fantasy girly at heart, and I do love dark romance. But I would say those are like my three top genres that I'm like constantly like hop in between.
Yeah. So obviously Nancy and I, we have different reading styles. I've got ADHD. I can only really manage one book at a time. Whereas you're able to juggle between three or four, 2 or 3. Yeah.
2 or 3. I read 2 or 3 books at the same time, and one of them is always physical, and then the rest are probably ebooks or like. Yeah. One time I tried an audiobook, but it wasn't for me.
No, see.
Yeah.
I definitely am of the opinion, like obviously audiobooks are reading. How you consume literature
is up to you.
But I'm definitely someone like Nancy, sometimes I read a physical book, but then I generally read mainly on my Kindle, I would say. Just for ease, like a Kindle's more transportable. So I prefer to that would generally be kind of like my first go-to on how I like to consume my literature. But I get what you're saying about audiobooks. Like, I don't know if it's a sensory thing for me, but like I just find a lot of the narration for certain audiobooks can just be unbearable to listen to.
Yeah, they're like either cringe or just like boring. Like I zone out during audiobooks, while I feel like I can have more focus if I'm physically reading.
Yeah. Be
it an ebook or a physical book. While I know that some people can't actually like maybe focus more on reading and they do better with audiobooks, it's just perfectly fine. Like whatever works for you works for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah. So I suppose because our last couple of episodes, if you've been keeping up with us from the beginning, you'll know that, we mainly talk about like dating and look at relationships and how that can really impact, people's lives, whether good or bad. So I suppose, like, what kind of books, in your opinion, kind of do you feel romanticize like toxic relationships, for example?
Probably, I would say dark romance, 100%.
100%.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. But I mean, I am not delusional enough to not know it's like not toxic. Like I read it because it's something different from like a daily life. Like you would most likely not experience this in daily life. Like most people don't experience that in daily life. Like,
I hope most people don't experience.
You don't fall in love with your stalker. You don't like get kidnapped by like a sexy guy who you are like, oh my God, drooling over him. Yeah. And he's actually a grand old guy in the end. But I think it's an interesting premise in that way, because I think it also ties into my love for horror and thriller. Because dark romance is it's more like reading a spicy thriller. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. Like it's just a thriller with spice. Yeah. And like I love thriller and horror books, so like I think that's why I like dark romance, because most of them are quite unhinged and can have like weird plot twists that you don't see coming, and that's why I probably like that genre so much as well. Yeah. Yeah, but like I think the most toxic relationships are represented in dark romance, which are like unrealistic, and nobody in their right mind probably should do or agree with that or condone these actions, but it's fun to read about it. Yeah, like borderline, I think that would, I feel like that's taking toxic relationships kind of to an extreme. For me, like I mainly read thrillers, like that's kind of my sole genre. And naturally, in typical thriller fashion, you're going to have toxic relationships. Yeah. There'll always be, whether it's a domestic thriller or, friends falling out and one of them secretly being jealous and wanting to kill their friends, or, even relationships between parents and their kids that you'll read about in thrillers as well. I've definitely read a number of books where that has been the case. And it just kind of, it makes you feel sad. Like, it's just, It's unhinged.
It's unhinged, yeah.
But that's what I mean. Thriller books are usually most of the time unhinged as fuck.
Yeah.
And that's why I think I like dark romance, because it's like literally reading a spicy, unhinged thriller.
Yeah.
Like, but you know it's bad, but you just want to see what's gonna happen.
How it's gonna unfold.
But like, I think for toxic relationships that a lot of people don't talk about is romantasy.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of romantasy, like obviously I'm one of the romantasy girlies. I love a good juicy romantasy, of course. I love magic systems and everything, but a lot of book boyfriends in romantasy are actually quite toxic in the way that they're quite controlling.
Yeah.
But it comes across as like really caring and stuff like that. But when you realistically think about if you had a boyfriend like that in real life, it'd be really toxic relationship.
Yeah.
So like obviously one of my favorite book boyfriends is Zayden from Fort Wing.
Yeah.
But he's quite toxic, I would say. He would be very jealous and overbearing, which would not be like the norm in the real life, but it's kind of like giddy in the book. Yeah. But like I know that it's quite toxic. But like what I like about romantasy is that like the book boyfriends there are like they would like go above and beyond for you. Yeah. And I'm like, yeah, I want that.
Yeah, of course. Every girl wants that. You want a man that's gonna do that.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's why maybe romantasy books are not talked about as often for representing toxic relationships, because it's most of the time as well represented as something you would actually qualities you would want in real life. Yeah. And I think that's why.
Yeah, no, definitely. Certainly in a lot of the thrillers that I read, like I feel like it's almost expected that there's going to be some kind of toxic dynamic between a husband and wife, friends, as I said,
and dark romance,
a parent and a child. And it's like I've read thrillers where the mother has been subjected to like something horrendous, not by her husband, but by someone at work. And as a result, you know, she falls pregnant, and she thinks that she's convinced in the book that the man who assaulted her is the father of her child. So you're watching her whole like psychologically, mentally, physically, she just completely unravels, because this is a child that has come about from like horrific circumstances, and you're watching her like she's just suffering, and the suffering just gets progressively worse throughout the book. It's almost like you can't bear to watch it. You're like watching a literal car crash in real life, like when you're reading this book and reading about what this woman goes through. And her husband is not great either. And the book is set in a society where like misogyny is rife. So the way that the character talks about men's attitudes towards women, you know, and using lines like women are just there we're like toilets, we're like there for men to do their business in. Yeah. That line from the book that I read, the book is called This Little Family, and it's originally written in French, but it's been translated to English, and it's set in France in a very misogynistic society, and the writing is exceptional, but you're watching this woman go through this pregnancy believing that she's convinced herself, and like once the child comes along, you're watching her suffer postpartum depression. She's literally thinking of throwing her child off the balcony. She like completely neglects this baby because she's like, I don't want anything to do with this child because like I was assaulted and this is the product of that. And then unfortunately, I don't want to spoil the book for anybody, but it turns out that
so it's a spoiler then.
Yeah, so I'm not spoiling, but it just turns out that
if anyone's reading it right now, it's a spoiler, skip ahead.
You know, she succeeds in ending the life of her son, but the twist is that the child was actually, her husband was actually the father of the kid the whole time. So I think, and that is, every time I think of a toxic relationship, like that is just one of the that's one of the first books I read that like come to mind. And I remember finishing the book and just feeling so empty because I felt so sorry for that kid, like, you know, but I think she deserved so much better as well. And she deserved compassion and understanding and all that kind of thing. So anyway, the book is just 300 pages of heartbreak, really. But I think throughout the thriller genre, like it is to be expected. Like you're always expecting some sort of domestic breakdown or something's going to happen between two people.
Unhinged.
Unhinged, yeah.
Like I'm currently reading Witchcraft of Wayward Girls. Okay. Which is a horror book by was his name? It's by a guy. I think it's Grady Hendrix, maybe.
Oh, Grady Hendrix.
Yeah.
I don't like him as an author. Interesting.
Really?
Yeah, no, I don't.
Okay. This is my first book I've read from him.
I'd be curious to know like what you think of his like writing style.
Actually, in Witchcraft, The Wayward Girls, I'm enjoying it.
Okay.
Quite like it.
Yeah.
But I think that's actually one of his most popular books.
Yeah.
As far as I've heard.
I think it is. Yeah.
So that's my first. I do have a few that I want to like backlist read from him, just to see if he's actually for me, because I have heard a lot of people say that they enjoyed one book, but then they didn't like any other books from him. So
yeah.
But I do like this book. I like the way it's written, but I mainly probably because I like the concept of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if have you read it?
I haven't read it. Okay. I read Final Girls by Grady Hendrix.
Oh, I have that on my list.
I think it's an interesting premise. The book, it wasn't for me. I think I just didn't really connect with his writing style.
Because he mainly writes horror. It's not really thriller. It's more just eerie horror. So he's a horror writer. If you don't really like eerie horror, then he probably wouldn't be for you. Yeah, but I like the eerie atmosphere. Yeah. Like one of my favorite fantasy books is actually more eerie than like romantasy. Yeah. But anyway,
we move
on. So Witchcraft of Wayward Girls is actually about, it's set, I think, in the 70s or 80s. I don't remember. But it's about young teenagers who fall pregnant outside of marriage. And back in the day, I assume in America, maybe here as well in Ireland, they did that as well. They sent girls to a home. Yeah. To hide them from society. Yeah. That they were pregnant, so they don't sully the family name. Yeah. And obviously, one of our main protagonists is one of the girls. So she's 15. She fell pregnant. Yeah, and she arrives in the house, and she actually falls into some witchcraft from an old librarian who comes and gives them library books every other weekend. And she gave her like a witchcraft book that the four girls thought that are like for the jokies. Yeah. And then they did the first spell and it worked. Okay. So one of the girls unfortunately wanted to keep the baby, but like she wanted to keep the baby and gave the baby a name already. Yeah. But unfortunately, she didn't get to keep the baby. It was actually taken away from her. Like back in the day, you didn't really have a choice. So if you went to the home, you don't get to keep the baby. Yeah. Because they sell the baby. Yeah. Otherwise, explain how are you staying there for free? Yes, exactly. Yeah. They're selling the babies to the families. So she didn't get to keep the baby. So she and the main protagonist went into the woods to find the witch. And then they cursed the main woman who actually gave birth to eels. Ooh. Yeah, it was very horrific. Like she fell pregnant because this lady who's in charge of the house wanted her to experience what this girl had experienced of giving birth and then not getting to keep it. Yeah. So, and this woman was obviously over 50 years old, so she can't physically have a baby, but it was like a curse that was on her, and she was like giving birth to eels and everything. So it's horror. It's not thriller. No, that's horror. I haven't finished the book yet. I still have like 150 pages left, but I'm very intrigued. You're like, super into it. Yeah.
Okay, good. And I suppose naturally with these things, and I'm sure people are very much aware of how saturated like book talk is at the moment. So like reading and people's interest in books has now become quite commercialized online, I would say. I'm also on Book Talk. I'm sure Nancy is as well. We've both got Goodreads accounts. If you're interested in following us, we'll leave them down below in the description box. But generally, like I think there are a lot of authors within that space that are quite like overrated or even underrated. Or
like even books specifically as well, not just authors, but like some specific books from specific authors. I know it's not, I wouldn't say a trend, but I know that there are a lot of problematic authors out there, and a lot of people boycott their entire all their series and just don't bother reading them. And there's a lot of controversy around a number of authors. I think particularly in the fantasy sphere. Recently I think Sarah J. Maas is being boycotted.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
But she's still doing quite well for herself. I don't understand why. I really don't.
Yeah, I suppose the hype kind of outweighs the scandals that she's been involved in. Yeah.
But also the quality of her books are not really great. Okay, I haven't read Akatar. I did promise myself I would try to read it. Let's see how it goes. But I did try to read Throne of Glass that everyone says is better than Akatar.
Okay.
And I hated it. I DNF'd it. It was juvenile. It was horrible. I think if I was 14, 15, I would have loved it.
Yeah, yeah.
But everyone who's read the books are now 14, 15.
Yeah.
I've seen recommendations from people my age who recommend that series. And I'm like, so are you just liking it because you got swept up into Akatar hype and then you read it after and you were just eating it up from the author?
Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, because I couldn't get past it, and our friend Holly, we also discussed it.
Yeah.
She couldn't get past it either, and she likes Akatar.
Yeah.
So.
No, I think, see, this is the thing about having such a saturated online environment when it comes to books, is that, first of all, people place a lot of hype or a lot of pressure on how many books you read in a year, in a month, in a day, in a week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
You know, and so reading has actually become less about enjoyment and more about hitting targets and hitting KPIs.
Yeah, like
now
it's statistics to show online.
To show that I'm a better reader than you and I've earned my right as a reader and a book talk content creator than, say, the next person. I just think that's so ridiculous. And I think read what you enjoy and don't be afraid to share your opinions, whether they're good or bad. Because a lot of the books that have been raved about and hyped up to the high heavens on Book Talk are actually, a lot of them are shit.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
They're just bad.
It's true.
Yeah.
Like I've recently, can I talk about it?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, talk about it. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
The girlies want to know.
No, because I talked to you about this before, but
Yeah.
I'm so traumatized from it. Like I rage read this book that's hyped up.
Yeah.
On TikTok, on YouTube, everywhere. Like Instagram, like I've seen everyone and their fucking grandmother recommend this book.
Yeah.
It's called Crow Prince. I'm sure most of you know it.
If you know, you know.
Or heard of it. I know a lot of people enjoy it. It has, I think, over 4-star ratings on Goodreads.
Yeah.
I don't see why. I read the whole book. Didn't get it at all. What was the purpose of it? I think the main character was incredibly pick-me girly, disguised as someone who's seeking power and just wants to be recognized, even though like she just wanted to be desperately like the elfian folk.
Yeah.
Because she was one of the only humans in the world there.
Okay. Yeah.
And she wanted to be like them, but she was like very pick-me about it. And then the romance with the character, it was like more of a bully romance.
Yeah.
It's not for me. And when they did actually like kiss, it came out like from nowhere. Like there was no lead up of it. The guy disappeared for half of the book. We didn't see him, didn't hear of him. He was like mentioned in passing, and then all of a sudden he's been kidnapped by this girl, and then he admits that he's obsessed with her, and then she's like, oh, it's great, because she hated him the whole time till he admits he's obsessed with her and kind of likes her. Then he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kiss you.
Yeah.
And it was just like the whole book is very badly written. The whole thing is just a mess, and it's like she's meant to be like a protagonist that you root for, but I think I would feel more comfortable if she was presented as someone who's like half villainish. Yeah. But she's not represented like that. Okay. You're meant to root for her. Like you want her to like, I don't know,
succeed, win.
Win. Yeah, but I don't want her to succeed or win. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like if she was represented in a way that's kind of like she was morally gray, which is actually not, I don't think, I think that's what she's meant to be. Yeah. But she's not represented correctly as a morally great character. And I think maybe I would have enjoyed it more, because she was like poisoning herself for a while there so she can prove that she's like better than all the elves. Yeah. Even though, I don't know. Anyways, I rage read it. I rage read the book in like 2 days because I wanted to be finished with it, and I wanted to see how worse it can get, and then I left 1 star. Yeah. So
Nancy doesn't recommend it.
No, no, but if you like it, good for you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if you read it and you loved it, fantastic. Yeah, but we weren't fans over here.
Yeah. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah, oh God. Yeah, I think another author that is shrouded in controversy is our favourite gal, Frida McFadden.
Oh, yeah.
In the thriller communities particularly.
I haven't actually read a single book from her.
She's just, I feel like controversy kind of follows her like a bad smell, because she's also been accused of using AI to write her books. Like, apparently a lot of her newest releases are just like reading a ChatGPT thread. And then I think she's also been kind of flagged for like plagiarizing other books,
really?
and then rephrase, like just reshaping it as
I mean,
kind of
that
something else.
girlie pops the books out like
no man's business.
Yeah, like changing your socks every day. She has a new book out.
Yeah, and I just think if you're churning out novels that frequently, like naturally the quality of them is going to decline.
Yeah.
Because how can you sustain that, like a good that quality over if you're releasing books every 2 months, every 3 months?
With Frida, I think it's definitely more quality over quantity.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I would say so. Or quantity over quality. Like quantity of books over quality. Yeah.
I don't know what I said, sorry.
No, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I meant anyways.
Yeah.
But yeah, see, I think I haven't read any books from her. I did skim through The Dinner Party. I did. I was very curious. I didn't fully read it, but I was very curious. What kind of business is this? Because it's like pick your own kind of adventure.
Yeah.
So there's like multiple endings. And I think they promised there was like over 20 endings or over 22 endings. And I'm pretty sure there wasn't even 20. I could be mistaken, of course.
Okay.
I could have lost count, but I don't think there was that many or over the count that they promised. So I don't know. And some of them were like not so good. I think I only liked 3 endings of the whole book. And they were kind of like, I think Frida put every intrusive thought that she had into that book. There was like snowman creature from the mountains. There was like werewolves, and there was, I don't know, some bizarre things. And there was like cannibals.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. I think everything that she might have wanted to written about before, but never had like a full story to write about, she put it in this.
She put it in this book.
Yeah.
Okay. No, that seems very Frida, very on brand for her. My first introduction into Frida McFadden was I read The Housemaid, and I actually really enjoyed it. Now, I know it's madly overhyped on TikTok, and it's the book, particularly in the thriller community, like the first video you're going to see, the first creator is going to recommend The Housemaid. So I was like, right, okay, let me just dive into this and actually see what it's like. I actually did enjoy it. I did enjoy it. I think the writing is a bit funny, and I'd be a stickler for like quality writing. So I was kind of like, oh, I'll let it slide, because I did actually get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And then I went from The Housemaid and I read one of her slightly newer releases. I think it came out last year. It's called The Boyfriend. That was good. It was good enough to keep me intrigued, and I finished the book. But I was also like, the writing was not as good as it was in The Housemaid. And I feel like it was a bit kind of choppy.
I feel like The Boyfriend probably started coming out when she was like kind of giving birth to books every other
it was kind of the pinnacle of that era for Frida, I think. And then currently on my bookshelf I've got The Housemaid's Secret, which I'm actually really looking forward to diving into, because people have said that apparently it's better than The Housemaid.
It's the third one I've heard is like,
it's just don't bother reading it.
It's absolutely a waste of time apparently.
I've also got The Coworker on my shelf. I've heard mixed reviews about that. A lot of people say it's not great.
Oh, I know that book. I haven't read it, but I did watch rant review of it, so I know the whole plot and how it ends.
Okay, no spoilers.
No, I'm not telling you, obviously.
And then I also on my shelf I've got Never Lie, and I think everybody says that is her best, the best of the best.
From her.
So
I'm curious. I think I'm actually considering reading that one from her.
Yeah,
as the only book I would probably ever read from her.
Yeah,
because that's apparently the best one, and I think I should probably leave it at that.
Yeah. No, I won't. I think after I read those books that I've got currently on my TBR,
because you already bought them.
Yeah, I've already bought them. They're there. I probably won't bother reading Frida again. Just. Yeah, I don't know. 'Cause I feel like she's the kind of author that like the more you read from her, the more samey her books become.
Yeah,
like,
because she has because of the person that I've listened to read the coworker, she even mentioned, that YouTuber mentioned, that she has like a specific style. Frida has a certain style that she does in a book, and you kind of know what to expect already. You read this, and then it reaches a culmination point, and apparently she always has this present and past. And past. And then you reach the
pinnacle at the end, or
the culmination
I've apparently
point.
heard with the coworker, you actually get the twist happens halfway through the book, so you actually get the reveal like halfway through. And then the rest of then you kind of get the whole story again from another character's perspective. I think that's how the coworker plans out. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, it's pretty much like that, because I listened to the whole book. I obviously know how it ends. I'm not going to tell you, but it does go. You do read it from one perspective, and then you go into the next perspective, and it does kind of reveal. I mean, I think you're quite expecting it already, but then you read it from the other person's perspective as well, how it all went down. And in the first part is all like in the past, present, past,
present,
blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
I think we should also touch upon Colleen Hoover.
So, okay.
Okay, I'll be honest. Never read a book of hers in my life.
Me neither.
Do not have an interest in it. I've seen snippets of it, and I'm just not about it. I don't think she's a good author.
Author, yeah.
A good author? I don't think so. She has quite questionable topics in her books. Like, I feel like she, for example, It Ends With Us. It kind of almost romanticizes domestic abuse. Yeah, and that's how all of her books go. Like, she romanticizes, and someone always dies from cancer in her books.
Okay. Like
a parent or a sister, or they are sick with cancer. Someone's always dying from something, or has died already. And that's how the whole book starts.
Yeah.
I've heard enough, and I've heard people reading it, and...
I tried to dip my toes into Verity. I read 3 pages of that book, and I was like,
you were like, I had enough.
This is bollocks. Like, I'm sorry, it just was bollocks. Like, the writing is awful. The writing is just so juvenile. I feel like I've written better in my primary school creative writing classes.
Yeah.
Like, I just couldn't get past it. And I just think the interactions between the characters are just so unrealistic and silly, and just like, it's like watching a bad movie.
Yeah.
For me. Sorry, if you love Verity and you're a big Colleen Hoover fan, fantastic.
Good for you.
We love that for you. But like, it's just not good. Her writing is just not good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
It's not. And I think the only book I was interested to read from hers was Variety. And I think I asked you about it, and you said no.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay. Because like, she mainly writes romance books, and I'm not a big romance book girly. Like, if I'll read a romance, I'll read a dark romance.
Yeah.
Because it has, like, the unhinged aspect. But, like, normal it's not for me.
I know she, like you said, like, she's known to be a romance writer.
Yeah.
So Verity was, like, her first thriller. And I just feel like, I think writing a thriller actually takes a lot of, like, you really need to work very hard at it.
Yeah,
and you need to do a lot of research and plan it.
Yeah.
I think every book from every genre has to be planned. It does. But I think a thriller, there's a particular way
you want the readers to not see the plot twist coming.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
And if everyone can see the plot twist coming, then you're not a good thriller author.
Not great.
Yeah.
And I just couldn't really get past her style of writing. I obviously never finished Verity, so I actually don't know what happens or what the twist is like or how the book unfolds. Yeah. I know there's a movie coming out. I'll probably watch the movie.
Yeah, I'll watch the movie as well. Actually, after the trailer, I'm a little bit interested.
I'm a bit intrigued. Me too, yeah.
Not to read it, but to watch it. Yeah. But no, I don't know. It's just... it's like, obviously, I don't want to diss people on like what kind of authors they like and what kind of books they like, because obviously one of my favorite books is actually, I think, the most overhyped book online. It's The Fourth Wing. And I absolutely love that. And that's why I don't want to shit on others. People think,
Yeah, no, you can't.
like,
You can't. I don't think we are. I think we're just expressing our opinions. Like, my favorite book of the world, of the year, of the century is The Silent Patient.
Yeah.
Probably a lot of viewers out there are people that would be like, that's fucking shit.
Yeah. Or
and
like,
I think Verity is fantastic. Like,
yeah. But I also think Silent Patient is actually quite a hyped up book as well.
I think the movie is finally coming out.
Okay.
And I am so excited.
Oh, when is it coming out? Because I want to read it before I see the movie. Because I hate reading books after the movie.
So I'm not sure when the release. It'll probably. I don't know if it'll be next year, maybe 2028
okay, well,
or something like that.
I have time.
You've got loads of time.
No, I just want to like put it maybe up in my TBR, so like I prioritize it more, because like if I know a movie's coming out of a book I want to read, I'm gonna most likely read that book first.
Yeah.
Or closer.
Like, I really wanted to
top.
finish The Housemaid before the movie came out, as well. So yeah. So I wanted to just
because I really dislike watching movies or TV shows about books that haven't read. Like, that means I can't read that book after.
Yeah, I won't.
I can't, because most of the time they do differ, even in minor things, and that already pisses me off.
Yeah.
I'm like, no. Like, I tried to read Heated Rivalry.
Heated Rivalry.
Yeah. I can't pronounce the word rivalry. I tried to read it. I think I'm still, at 50 pages. I did buy the book, so I'm gonna read it at some point, I think.
Yeah.
I'm just not ready yet, because I already was pissed off in the first 3 pages because some things weren't adding up with a TV show, and I was like, that's it.
Yeah.
This is different. Now I'm not. No, I can't do it.
No, I'm not gonna bother. No, I'd be the same. I'd be the same. Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it's a thing. Like, I can't, like, if I know there's a movie out or a TV show out, when I watched Heated Rivalry, I didn't know there was books.
Okay, yeah. So that's
if I had known, I would have read it first. Yeah, because that's what I like to do. Because otherwise, it's like, well, I'll never read that book now.
Yeah.
Not that I should be upset about it, because I have like almost 400 books on my TP.
Yeah.
I should be happy there's one less book. Yeah. But now I'm upset. I'm like, well, that's an opportunity of reading lost.
Yeah, wasted.
Wasted time.
How can you even call yourself a reader?
Yeah,
I can't believe you.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna take a small break.
And we'll be right back.
And we'll be right back.